All right, everybody, buckle up. We're diving deep into the U.S. housing market today.
Sounds exciting.
It is. We're going to unpack all those expert predictions for the next few years,
Oh, okay, yeah.
like what's going to happen with home prices, mortgage rates, how much inventory there'll be,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff you need to know if you're thinking about buying or selling anytime soon.
For sure.
So think of this as your shortcut to understanding
Right.
what's really going on in the market, right?
Love it.
We're basing this whole deep dive today on this report. It's called
Okay.
Housing Market Outlook for 2024 to 2026.
Ah, yes, I've seen this one. Really interesting, especially with,
Yeah.
how crazy the housing market's been lately.
Totally. It's like 1 minute prices are skyrocketing.
Right.
Then the next, it feels like things are slamming on the brakes.
It's been a wild ride, that's for sure.
So what's the big picture? What's this report telling us is on the horizon?
Well, the report's pointing to this big shift, kind of moving away from that crazy boom, the superheated market,
Yeah.
and heading towards something more stable. Think of it like, not like a sudden stop,
Gotcha.
but more like when a plane starts to descend, soft landing.
Okay, soft landing. That sounds
Yeah.
a lot better than a crash landing, I guess.
Exactly.
But what does soft landing actually mean for like someone who's thinking about
Right.
buying their first home in the next couple of years?
That's a great question. One of the biggest things is home prices.
Okay.
Remember all those huge jumps we saw?
Oh, yeah.
Seems like those days are behind us. The report's predicting more like moderate growth in those home values, somewhere around 3 to 5% annually.
Okay, 3 to 5%.
Yeah, it's still an increase.
Right.
But it's way slower, steadier climb than
Right.
what we've, gotten used to.
I see, 3 to 5%. Do you think that's still going to
Yeah.
price a lot of people out,
How?
especially those first-time buyers?
I hear you. That's a real concern. And the report, it gets that
Yeah.
affordability is still a challenge.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting part.
Okay.
One of the things that's actually slowing down that price growth
Yeah.
is those higher borrowing costs.
When you say borrowing costs, you mean?
Yeah, like mortgage interest rates.
Oh, right. Okay.
Higher rates mean bigger monthly payments, which, that affects how much buyers can actually afford.
That makes sense.
So it sort of cools down the demand,
Oh, okay.
which helps keep those price increases in check.
So are we saying higher mortgage rates are actually a good thing?
It's not so simple,
Okay.
It's not really good or bad.
Right.
Sure, higher rates are tough on individual buyers, no doubt.
Yeah.
But for the whole market,
Yeah.
that slowdown in price growth, that can actually be a good sign. Helps create a more stable, sustainable environment.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So this report, it gives some specific price predictions for the next few years.
It does, yeah. For 2024, they're saying about a 3% increase in home prices by the end of the year.
Okay.
But then in 2025,
Yeah.
it could jump to 5%.
5%. Why would it jump like that?
Well, they're thinking mortgage rates might dip a little in 2025,
Okay.
which could make homes a little more affordable.
Right.
So more buyers might jump in,
Yeah.
drive up demand.
Push those prices up.
Exactly. But even with that, we're still talking way less than those crazy double-digit increases we saw
Right.
a while back.
And we can't forget that real estate's local, right?
Oh, absolutely.
National average doesn't tell the whole story.
No, not at all.
So someone looking to buy in, say, Boise, Idaho, could have a totally different experience
Right.
than someone looking in Austin, Texas.
Exactly.
Right.
You got it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
local factors, like are there new jobs, new construction, even lifestyle trends,
Totally. All that plays a role.
can really affect prices in a specific area. So, like, research is key.
Definitely.
Talk to local real estate agents.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They know the nuances of the market.
They're the experts on the ground.
Okay, let's talk inventory for a second.
Okay.
The report mentioned that could rise in the next few years.
Right.
What kind of impact does that have?
Inventories, that's the number of homes for sale, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a huge piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
If more homes come on the market, which this report says might happen, that could really change things.
Okay.
More inventory means buyers have more choices, right? Less competition maybe eases some of that upward pressure on prices.
So more inventory usually means a more balanced market.
Usually,
That's
yeah.
okay.
Makes things a little healthier between buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
When inventory is low,
Mhm.
sellers, they have the upper hand.
Right.
Prices tend to climb.
Okay.
But when there's more inventory,
Yeah.
buyers, they have more power to negotiate.
Okay.
Prices might not go up as fast.
Makes sense.
They could even stabilize.
So it's kind of like that supply and demand thing.
Exactly. Econ 101.
A higher supply of homes can help keep prices in check.
That's it.
Okay, so the report's saying we might see inventory rise because of,
Right.
what, more new construction?
Yeah, and maybe more homeowners deciding to sell
Okay,
as those mortgage rates kind of level out.
gotcha. Okay, so to summarize, it sounds like this report is saying the U.S. housing market's shifting
It is.
to a more stable, balanced phase.
Right.
We're probably looking at more moderate price growth.
Yeah.
Some differences depending on the region,
For sure.
and maybe more inventory coming onto the market.
Sounds like it.
So overall, it seems like things are becoming a little more predictable,
Hopefully.
a little less volatile
I'd say so.
than they've been in the past.
Definitely.
But these are just projections, right?
Oh, yeah.
The
Exactly.
future can always throw us a curveball.
Always.
The economy could change, interest rates, even demographics
Well, that can change things.
can all affect the housing market
Sure.
in ways we don't expect.
Absolutely.
So what advice would you give our listeners who are trying to figure all this out?
Stay informed. That's number one.
Okay.
Keep an eye on what's happening in the market.
Both nationally and locally.
Both, yep. And don't just read the headlines.
Yeah.
Dig a little deeper. Try to understand what's really driving those trends.
And most importantly.
Talk to the experts.
Okay.
Those local real estate agents, mortgage brokers,
Mm-hmm.
they can give you advice that's specific to your situation
Right.
and your goals.
That's great advice. Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
You got it. Happy to help.
And for our listeners, we hope this deep dive has given you a clearer picture of the U.S. housing market
Absolutely.
and what you might expect in the years to come.
For sure.
Remember, knowledge is power, especially when you're making big decisions, like buying or selling a home.
Couldn't agree more.
And with all that said, think we're good to wrap up here?
Sounds good to me.
See you next time.
See ya.